Estamos chegando na África agora. E aí a gente vai fazer qual? Kilimanjaro Safaris. A gente tem agora, deixa eu ver, 9:07, nosso Lightning Lane é às 9, então a gente já vai poder pegar Lightning Lane. A gente vai entrar nesse aí e já vai poder pegar um outro Lightning Lane aí para outra coisa. Thank you. Julho.
Here, this over here. Get out first.
Bom, quando a gente estiver lá no nosso safari eu vou filmar. A gente já vai entrar já. Vou filmar o nosso passeio com os animais. Repito. Repito. We're gonna see the animals.
Yep. Mom, do you have anything after?
Here, buddy.
Expected mothers should not lie. Once on board your safari transport, please be seated with your hands, arms, feet and legs inside, and remember to watch your children.
Kilimanjaro.
Your transport will be provided shortly. Aside the sound, enjoy your adventure.
Wildlife, right, bud?
What?
Bienvenidos a Kilimanjaro Safari. Para su seguridad, permanezcan sentados y mantengan las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del vehículo. Inclina sus niños. Gracias. Jumbo, everyone. Welcome to Kilimanjaro Safari. That the continued roads of the Arabian Wildlife Reserve passes throughout the rugged terrain.
Thanks, really appreciate it. Thank you.
You should be in good health and free from high blood pressure, heart, back problems, motion sickness, or other conditions that could be aggravated by this addiction. Expected mothers should not lie. Once on board your safari transport, please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet and legs inside, and remember to watch your children. Your transport will be provided shortly. Asante Sound. Enjoy your adventure at Kilimanjaro Safari. Bienvenidos a Kilimanjaro Safari. Para su seguridad, permanezcan sentados.
Thanks again, running those perfect seats because we need to use for the next 2 weeks out here on the reserve. So make sure you're running your favorite final spots because we know moving while we are out there. Now, if you are sitting on that right hand side, please make sure to keep your hands, arms, feet, so the truck doesn't be sliding shut in just a second.
Put it down, bud.
Asante Sana Warden. It is really to stay here in Harambe Twin Day, which does mean let's go. Now, Jumbo, everyone. My name is Delaney. I'll be your safari guide out here on the reserve today. While we are out on the reserve, I do ask that you remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck the entire time. Now, also, please make sure to keep a tight hold on any cameras, cell phones, and any other personal items, because if anything were to fall over the side of my truck, I unfortunately will not be able to stop for it. If you do drop anything, please just let me know. We'll try to get a warning out here to retrieve that item for you. Now, if you have any kids that can sit on your lap, that is perfectly fine, but please make sure we do not raise them up in the air, as you are not Rafiki, they are not Simba, this is not the Lion King. So you do need to stay seated the entire time and not moving throughout the rows. Where they're at right now is where they're going to stay the entire time we are out there. Now, these are very real animals, and this is a very real truck that I am driving, so we want to be as safe as possible. possible while we are out there. Now we also want to be respectful to these
telefoon.
animals, so make sure we're not eating, drinking, smoking, or vaping while we're out here, and also make sure we're not calling out to any of the animals out here. We want to be respectful to them, and they do have very sensitive ears. Instead of yelling, screaming, whistling, or clapping at them, let's just be courteous to the animals out here as well as everybody else on the truck. Now above your head is an animal spotting guide, and that's a little indicator of the animals we could see out here today. I can't guarantee we'll see them all, but hopefully we do see a good amount of them. Now our first up on the reserve today is going to be the Little Aturi Forest. Now the Aturi Forest is going to be home to a lot more of the camouflage animals out here on the reserve. So it might just be a little bit harder for us to see them because they do blend in very well to this dense underbrush here. Now they're also very shy and reclusive animals, so sometimes they do hide away from us. But looks like we're having a couple views of some animals right over here. Now on the right we'll be able to see the okapi. Now we're also going to see a bunch of different animals right here. We actually have the saddle-billed stork, which is going to be this black and white bird right up here next to the truck, and also in the background over there on the left. We also have the greater hoodoo hanging out there, which are these tan animals. And then on the other side we do have some bongos making their way up here as well. Now saddle-billed storks are about 5 feet tall. They have a wingspan of about 9 feet, which is the width of the canopy above your head. So they do have a pretty wide wingspan. Now greater kudu are the larger of the antelope species, getting about 55 inches tall just at those shoulders. Now bongos, which are the ones coursing in front of us right now, bongos are considered to be the ghost of the forest because they are very rarely ever seen and they do blend into a lot of their surroundings out here. Now they will lay their head back so you can push through all the dense underbrush here in the forest, and they can move through it pretty quickly without getting tangled up in it. Now we're going to still get some great views of the okapi that's hanging out there. Now the okapi is the closest living relative to a giraffe, which is related to the zebra because they're striped pants. But they do have the same facial structure as well as the same long prehensile tongue as those giraffes. Now the natives knew about the okapi. Westerners did not discover them until about 1901. So they were considered to be the mythical creatures. Now we now know today that those okapi are very shy and reclusive animals. It does make sense why it took us so long to actually be able to see them. Now out of all the animals that are all here right now, they are all going to be females except for one of those saddle-billed storks. Now we can tell these greater kudu, the greater kudu are going to be females because they don't have any horns. The males do have horns that are about 6 feet in length. Now we can tell that bongo is going to be a female because she's going to be all that copper color. The males are going to have a little bit of a brown or darker color on them that helps kind of tell the difference between them. Now for this saddle-billed storks, the way we do tell the difference between a male and a female is actually going to be by their eye colors. The females do have a bright yellow eye, while the males are going to have a darker color. But up on the hill over here on the left, we're going to get a great view of a black rhino hanging out here. It looks like he's eating some food. Black rhinos are about 3,000 pounds. They can charge about 35 miles an hour. Now rhinos in general, they have no natural predators. Their main predator is going to be humans. And unfortunately, there is only about 5,000 of them left in the world, as they are suffering due to poaching for those keratin horns. Now keratin is the same thing our hair and nails are made out of, so it is very unfortunate that they're being poached for something we grow back so easily. Now we are making our way out of the main part of the forest and onto the edge of the forest, which is the Sapi River. Now the Sapi River is going to be home to a lot more of the aquatic animals out on the reserve. So it's just a little bit harder for us to see these animals because they do spend a lot of time in that water, especially when it does start to get pretty warm outside. Now on the right, you'll see a couple gray and white birds. Those are going to be some pink-backed pelicans. Now pink-backed pelicans get their name from the pink coloration they get on their backs during their mating season. They're also going to be colonial nesters, with about 20 to 500 pairs on a nest at just one time. Now you will be able to see on this left-hand side some hippos. Now hippos do spend the majority of their time in the water. They only come up onto the bank at night to enjoy the vegetation that does surround it. Hippos, they are herbivores, though it might not seem like it because of large teeth that they are known to have. But those teeth are used for defense only, so they really only show them they feel extremely threatened. Now, unlike most animals, hippos do not swim along the river, they are going to be running along the bottom. Now, they weigh so much, they sink all the way down to the bottom, and they're able to bounce their way back up to be able to get that fresh breath of air that they need, as they do only hold their breath underwater for about 8 minutes at a time. So you do have to come up periodically to be able to get that air. Now, they are able to sleep under the water. They have a reflex that helps them float up to the top of the water to get that air and then naturally float back down. Now, over here on the left, we will see some Nile crocodiles. Now, Nile crocodiles are the larger of the crocodilian species, getting about 16 feet in length, weighing about 500 pounds. Now, they can eat about half of their body weight in just one sitting, and because of this, they really only need one food to be able to survive. Now, their diet does mainly contain fish, but if something was unfortunate enough to cross their path, they will go for it. And that is usually when they go that week without having to eat. Just not something super consistent for them, just when they've had a bigger meal they're not fully used to. Now the trees are opening up quite a bit, so that means you're getting closer to the savanna out here. Now coming up on this right hand side, we will see the baobab tree. Now the baobab tree has two different nicknames. It's going to be nicknamed the Tree of Life because it can hold about 10,000 gallons of water at a time. Now because it does hold so much water, it does remain leafless for 9 months out of the year, which is why we also call it the upside down tree, because it kind of looks like its roots are facing up. Now that tree does get its leaves back. It's going to be during the rainier seasons out on the savanna that it does get those leaves.
Man, look at the giraffes.
Now the savanna is the largest part of our reserve, and where we're going to see a lot of the animals we all know and love. Now they also love to use the savanna as a bit of a highway system, so they do end up crossing back and forth quite a bit throughout the entire day. So we will see them pretty spread as we do make our way down through here. Now as we get closer to some of these animals, that's when they will fully talk about them, just because there might be some different animals between us and the ones we see in the distance, but we do have some giraffe, and they're going to be pretty spread out right now. Now giraffes are about 18 feet tall. The babies are born at about 6 feet. They do have a 6-foot drop from their moms when they are born to help kickstart their lungs a little bit, to help them start breathing. Within the first hour of them being born, they will be up and moving around. So a drop really does not affect those animals in too many ways. Now over here on the left-hand side, there's going to be some laying down right here on the edge of the grass. These are the African painted dogs, and it looks like there's going to be a lot more. It's kind of in that back corner. Now the African painted dogs get their name from the paint spatter markings it looks like they have on them. Now their markings are very unique to them, no two are alike, just like our fingerprints. Now although these animals are super cute and cuddly looking, they are one of the most successful hunters out on the savannah. Having about an 80% success rate, while lions only have a 20%. Now we are going to start to see the zebra, but we also do have these sable antelope kind of hanging out in the back over there on the corner, left-hand side in the corner. Now the sable antelope are the emblem to the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and they are very brave animals. Will never back down from a challenge. With how their horns are shaped, they're able to deter predators away from them. People just protect themselves against any of those predators. Now, the Hartman's Mountain Zebra do have a flap of skin under their throat that really helps them regulate their body temperature. Now, that flap of skin is called a dewlap, and they're going to be the only species of zebra with that flap of skin. But they're not the only animal species with it. Now, they also have smaller hooves and a bigger heart than most zebras, so I'm going to comment that mountain terrain just a little bit easier. Now we also do have some more of those beside giraffe. We have some closer views of them over here on the left. Now beside giraffe have a little bit more of a messier rugged leaf pattern to them than what we are used to seeing, as we are used to seeing the reticulated giraffe, and they do have a net-like pattern to them. Now giraffes do spend the majority of their day eating. They only sleep for about 30 minutes a day. Now it's not going to be a consecutive 30 minutes. There's actually about 1 to 2 minute power naps throughout the entire day that just equal 30 minutes. And during these naps, they will stand completely still. Now they have such long legs, makes it very vulnerable to predators if they do lay down. So they prefer to stay standing, and if we ever see giraffes laying down, that really means they feel extremely comfortable in their environments. Now if you look over, hanging out by the giraffe over there on the right hand side, that's an eland. Now both male and female elands have those long twisted horns, but the males are going to dig their heads into some bushes to kind of create the leaf flower crown around them, so you can try to impress their females a little bit more. Now over here on the right hand side, we'll see the wildebeest, but there's also some smaller animals hanging out over here. They're going to be the tan and white animals you can kind of see out behind those bushes. Those are springboks. Now springboks are the smaller of the antelope species, and they can jump about 6 to 8 feet in the air just from standing up and jump about 13 feet forward. And they can also run at about 50 to 60 miles per hour, making them one of the top 10 fastest animals in the world. Now wildebeest get into herds about 1.5 million and will travel about 500 to 1,000 miles in 1 year. Now it is said because of how many of them are traveling at one time, they can see a group of wildebeest migrating from space just to the amount of dust that they can pick up. Now there is a lot of trees knocked down up ahead here, so that means we are getting closer to some elephant territory. So we are going to keep an eye out on the right hand side to see if we can spot an African elephant. Now over there on the right, we'll be able to see that African elephant, but also on the left, you'll be able to see a mandrill out here. Now mandrills, they are the larger of the monkey species, having a beautiful blue and red facial coloring to them like Rafiki from The Lion King. Now we're going to move up just a little bit and get a better view of that elephant. Now we can tell this is an African elephant from the shape of the ears, as they kind of look like the continent of Africa. Now every flap of the ear actually lowers their body temperature about 10 to 15 degrees, so there's like a personal fan on them at all times. Now elephants, they do live in a matriarchal society, so that does mean that the oldest female elephant is going to be the leader of the herd. Once the males reach a certain age, they do separate themselves off from the main herd and either go off on their own, and they will join up with other males, what you would call a bachelor herd. Continue forward, keep an eye out on either side. You might be able to see some tusk marks. Now the elephants like to dig their tusk into this red clay to be able to get to the minerals it holds inside. Now these minerals, they are very good for the elephants. It's like the vitamins we take every single day. And it does look like on this right hand side, we'll be able to see those tusk marks. Now whenever we see elephants, they are almost always going to be eating, and that's because elephants love to eat. Now, because they like to eat so much, they really don't care where they go. As long as they are getting food, they're going to be pretty happy. Now, this has caused some problems over in Africa because the elephants have got onto farmland and destroyed crops, so the farmers are not too happy with them. Now, during some research, it was found out elephants are afraid of bees. They don't really like the noises that they make. So it was suggested to the farmers to put beehive fences surrounding the farmland to see if it would scare those elephants away. And it actually worked. About 80% of the elephants that did come up to that farmland would run away because they were so scared. And that made those farmers pretty happy because they're finally able to use their crops, but also able to sell the honey the bees produce for a little bit more extra income. Now you can see these elephants are a little bit dirty, and that's from them throwing some dirt on their backs. Now they throw dirt, water, and mud on their back to help protect their skin just a little bit, as they have very sensitive skin, so it helps protect it from the sun. Now when elephants walk, they're going to be walking on their toes and not on their full foot, but they do have a spongy fat underneath their foot to help them cushion their walk and absorb a lot of the shock when they do step down. Now it does absorb a lot of the shock, but also absorbs a lot of the sound as well, so you can't really hear an elephant walking towards you. Now it also allows them to feel vibration to the ground so they can communicate with each other, but they're also able to lead their entire herd to that water. Now we'll be able to see over here on the left hand side some greater flamingos. Now, greater flamingos are the larger of the flamingo species and also a lighter pink. Now, flamingos, they are born gray. They get the pink coloration from the beta carotene in the krill they do eat. Now, a year after they're born, then is when they start to lose their gray feathers a little bit. They'll be gray and white. And a little bit after that, they start getting some pink feathers to them. So you can start losing their gray feathers altogether.
Neat, man. Look at the paint on the wall.
Now, over here on the left-hand side is usually where we see some of our southern white rhinos, but I have a feeling they're on the other side of the trees right now. There is a lot more grass for them to graze on over there, but they usually hang out over here with that mud pit because it does create a natural sunblock as well as a natural bug repellent for them. Now, it actually looks like we have some rhinos coming over here that we'll be able to see.
Over here, bud.
On the right here as they're walking, making their way over here. I don't want to get in there way too much. We're just going to slowly go by and hopefully be able to spot some more on the other side.
Then stop.
Now, those are the southern white rhinos. They are about 5,000 pounds. There's about 18,000 of them left in the world. Again, going to be suffering due to poaching for those keratin horns. Now, I didn't want to block them because rhinos don't really have the best eyesight. They really only see about 5 feet ahead of them. So they really didn't know that we were going to be stopped right in front of them. They can't hear us, but they can't really see us too well, so we don't want to surprise them too much. Now, their ears twitch a lot, and that helps them listening to their surroundings, so they will know what is kind of going on around them. So they heavily rely on those ears and their nose. Now, we are going to hopefully be able to spot some cheetahs. It looks like one's going to be moving around up here on the left-hand side. Now, cheetahs, they are the fastest land mammal. They do get to speeds about 60 miles per hour in about 3 seconds. Now, they will only hold that speed for about 30 seconds at a time because these animals are built for speed and not for strength, so they can't hold it forever.
Yeah, the cheetahs.
Now, cheetahs are one of the very few big cats that can purr, which is definitely very interesting to hear, but I don't recommend getting super up close and personal to be able to hear them. They are still big cats like the cats that we have at home, so it's better just to be safe when coming around those animals. Now, up ahead here is our Kobe Rock Formation. Sometimes you do get to see some big cats out here. So you can look out across the savannah, be able to check out what's going on and make sure everything's running pretty smoothly out here. Now, it does look like we'll be able to see over here on the left a male lion. Now, lions, they do sleep about 18 to 20 hours a day, usually being more active at night.
He's sleeping.
Now, during the day, their eyesight's just like ours, but at night's about 6 times stronger since they do majority of their hunting. Now, the females will do majority of the hunting for the pride, but that male will stay back to protect any cubs. But if there's no cubs to protect her, to go and join the hunt with the rest of those females. And we do have a female laying just right above that male as well. And you'll also be able to see on the right some more of those rhinos, but we're going to get some more views of those rhinos in just a second. Now, sometimes you do get the amazing opportunity to hear these animals roar, but it's not something that happens very often, as they usually only roar in the mornings and the evenings and after they've successfully completed a hunt. Now, the farthest a lion can roar is going to be about 5 miles away, but the farthest I've ever heard from one's about 5.6 miles, which is only one of 9 recordings, so it's not something that happens too often. They do tend to roar pretty quietly. Now, it does look like on the left over here we'll be able to see some warthogs. Now, warthogs, they are burrowing creatures, so they will make these burrows and then they back themselves in there, be able to keep their tusks out, to be able to protect themselves against any predators that could come their way. Now, warthogs are also very good recyclers. They will actually recycle any abandoned burrows from any other animal, so they usually will take those burrows and they'll use them as their own. Now, we'll see that rhino, but we also can see over here on the left-hand side just an ostrich. Now, ostriches are the largest flightless birds. They do get to speeds of about 40 miles per hour. Now, they are about 9 feet tall and about 300 pounds, so they are a pretty big animal. Now, we can tell she is a female because of her gray feathers. The males are going to have a black feather, which is what we're really used to seeing on ostriches. Now, because they are such a large bird, they do lay some large eggs. So over here on the right, we'll be able to see some of those ostrich eggs. Now, they are going to be about 3 pounds, which equivalent to about 2 dozen chicken eggs. Now, a grown adult could try to stand on one of their eggs and not be able to break it, just from how strong that outer shell actually is going to be. ahead here is going to be our warden's post. Unfortunately, that does mean we are coming up close to the end of our reserve. Now, I do have some friends running around here, so that they'll be able to get a look at them, but these are Nigerian dwarf goats. They are domesticated from Africa. You'll be able to find them worldwide. Now, they are very social animals, so they love hanging out with our warden here. Now, our warden does keep these goats around to show us all we can all live together as one, humans and animals together. Harambe in Swahili does mean to come together, so we do want to all come together to be able to help protect these animals, so we can all live alongside of them in harmony. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, what can I do to help protect these animals? And the main thing you do to help protect them is just by researching them. By researching these animals and how they live, you can find small ways to be able to protect them, and even the smallest actions go a long way. Now, you can also recycle any of your old household items as well as any old electronics. By recycling those electronics, you can actually help out elephants and gorillas to be able to help, because there's a lot of mining going on in their homes, so mineral coltan, which helps create those electronics. But you can also recycle household items to protect the other animals out here, as well as every animal out here is facing habitat loss and habitat destruction. So we really want to do everything we possibly can to be able to help protect these animals and their homes, so the next generations after us can learn about these animals, but they're also able to see them and experience them in the ways that we get to experience them out here today. Now, we are coming up to our unload area, so please make sure you're getting all of your personal items together, just so it's a little bit easier for you to unload. It's going to be a very long trip from here to Africa to be able to grab those items, and we really don't wish that for you. So double check your rows, double check your pockets, make sure nothing fell out. Just get pretty bumpy out here. But once again, my name is Delaney. I am from Illinois, and here at Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye. It is far too sad and far too final. And you can say a simple phrase, which is Kwaherini, which does mean to go well. Now, if you are sitting on the right-hand side, please make sure to keep your hands, arms, feet nice so the truck is to be sliding open. Kwaherini, everyone. Go well, go wild, enjoy the rest of your day in the kingdom.
Pronto, e esse foi o Safari. Gostou, Pito? Gostou, Pito?
Now where are you going?
Vamos ver. Agora, a gente vai aqui.
Say friends.
Não,
Well, then how do you know him?
é porque ele tava com a camisa do Fluminense, o jersey do Fluminense Football Club. Ó, a gente vai nesse aqui, Pito.
Oh, I got
Do you like that one?
no, I don't know.
Are you all excited to get wet? Have a shower? Shower of the week?
Pode ficar muito.
Não, que eu acabei de colocar vaselina à toa. Mas vai ser legal, que eu gosto desse. É melhor pra fazer mais cedo do que depois, né? E aí depois daqui onde é que a gente vai ir?
Não dá pra ir, a gente pode parar um pouquinho ali no... Ali onde tem aquele show dos kites. Acho que na verdade até o show dos kites acabou.
Acabou?
É.
Ah, é? Tem mais?
Não.
It's never coming back ever, ever.
I don't know. Ever, I don't know. You go, bud?
Have fun. Have fun. Wait, Ben. Have fun.
Great, thank you.
I just got over here.
pra colocar no accessory.
Porque amanhã a gente não vai lá no Japão, filha.
Não? Não vai passar ali.
Lembra que amanhã a gente vai fazer só o Future World.
É, você tá te perguntando porque eu não sabia se o Japão era perto de lá, se era pedir, eu ia pedir pra gente ir lá rapidinho.
Porque amanhã a gente vai no Epcot e a Lívia quer fazer um Pearl.
Yeah, and I'm going to get all my money for the pearl.
O que você acha que deveria fazer?
Vamos ver. Esse vai sair caro.
Yeah. I'm going to give all my $200.
Não. Já tá chegando aqui já.
DJ or Manisha, please get to the radio. This is Arjun.
Oh, by the way, you're going to get wet. Dad, you're going to get wet, right, Dad?
You think we're gonna get wet?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
This camera is about to get wet. And if you don't get wet, that you probably will, I'll give you $200. Because my dad had $200, and then he gave me $200, my sister $200. So that probably means...
Vai filmar também?
Mas claro que vou. You get wet. You may get soaked.
If y'all don't get wet, that y'all probably will. I will give y'all $200 if you.
É, você pode get soaked, tá?
What?
Dá uma olhada e vai secar.
And my gel's gonna go off.
Vendo? Para de ficar mexendo no seu cabelinho assim.
That's my gel's gonna go off.
Não foi ainda não. Olha o Anticipation Building aqui na cara da mamãe.
We're gonna get soaked and I actually saw the Yeti today. I'm really surprised.
How many here, guys? 4. You guys are going to go to the other side, all the way to the back, 2 and 2. Watch your step, please. Watch your step, please, guys. Go all the way around for me. Watch your step. One right up here. Watch your step, please, guys. All right, guys, once you're seated, go ahead and get buckled. Once you're buckled, I need to see everyone pull on the loose end of those orange belts so I can see they're nice and tight. Thank you. Loose end of those seatbelts for me, guys.
Wow, it's wet. It's
Thank you.
cold.
Sir, will you pull that into your seatbelt for me?
Oh, yeah.
That's perfect. All right, guys, have a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my friends. To make sure your expedition is a safe one, stay seated with your seatbelt fastened, keeping your hands, arms.
Why are we on an expedition? Why are we on an expedition?
Because we're explorers.
I thought we were just going to explore Everest.
Oh my God.
Ready to get to... Oh my God. Oh my gosh, we're about to get soaked already in first second. Please be soft for me.
Get so fast.
Yeah, we are.
Oh my goodness.
Sentamos no lugar errado. A gente deveria ter deixado o papai e o Ben entrarem primeiro.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord. We're going back. I'm pretty sure it's a tsunami. Oh yes, it is a tsunami.
Ah, Vivian, coloca o seu pé em cima para não molhar seu pé.
I can't, Dad. I'm not even wet.
Whoa!
Okay, I'm still not wet though.
Ben,
Man,
you're
don't
gonna
jinx
jinx it. Yeah. I hope you jinx it for yourself.
Ça, c'était juste parce qu'il était belle dedans.
Okay, now. Yes.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a, non? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a, non?
Oh, no.
Ça va être bien.
You got me there. At least you didn't get my hair all of Oh, cannonballs. Oh, wow. It's almost over, right? Yeah, I love it not being over.
I forgot that this is longer than just that.
I'm still alive.
No, it's ending.
Oh. Ha! You used to have a waterfall. There's a spot. Maybe it was that one, the one over there.
I want to go again.
You want to go again?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
An expedition guide will let you know when you move way
I remember where it's this one. It's this one.
Be sure you have all your gear so when you leave for your next
Oh, I wanna go again.
You want to go again?
Yeah. The GoPro's all wet. Now the GoPro's all wet.
Yeah.
Good. And is it damaged?
No, it's not.
Good. So that means we can go in the pool with it. Yay!
You're a mess.
Hey!
You're a mess.
I said I wasn't wet at first.
You jinxed it, thanks.
Look
what you did.
What? Daddy, I got this.
Say again?
Press because they can't see us.
Soaking wet.
Oh yeah, you're so haha, karma.
At least you are too.
But I'm not as bad as you, so.
How do you know? Exactly. You know nothing. Actually. Can we just stay here and not get out?
No.
The line waiting.
This was a tsunami. We should have brought our sunshade.
Wait, buddy.